6 of the 10 days challenge on how to survive hard times. Wow. Ever since we began this journey, I've been receiving a lot of calls from so many people are chatting me up, a lot of encouragement from people across Nigeria and some part of the world. And however, I want to appreciate all the speakers and those that are yet to come on board. I want to appreciate all of you for the wonderful work and effort that you guys are putting in this program, because it's been awesome. Our yesterday's session was wow by Mr. Timitayo Adewale. And today, by the grace of God, we have two powerful personnel, two powerful speakers that will be teaching us on how to survive hard times. And our first speaker tonight is Miss Amarachuku Onovo. I think I got the pronunciation. I want to believe I got it because if I didn't get it, I know she's not going to be happy with me, because she's one of my mentees, and I have to know how to pronounce her name. So join me tonight in welcoming Miss Amarachuku. How are you doing, ma? Wow, I can't hear you. I need you to unmute yourself.
Good evening. Good evening, sir.
How are you doing? Yeah, we are super excited to have you on board tonight.
I'm excited. I'm overexcited, actually.
I want to appreciate you for honoring our invitation. And I would like to give room for her to introduce herself, but I know that she's passionate about HR, human resources, and that's why we have to contact her and say, come, you need to come and tell our audience, teach our audience about the future of work. So today, join me as I also appreciate this woman of God. She's a woman of prayer. If you see her on the altar of prayer, you will not believe that she's the one. She's a powerful woman. So let us start with the word of prayer. Father, we thank you. We worship you. All the glory be to your name. As we begin this journey today, Lord, we ask that you take control of all the equipment, the internet, and even be the vessels. Lord, take absolute control of this program and let your name alone be glorified. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. Over to you. You have the podium. And
good evening, everyone. Good evening. Just like Coach said, my name is Amarachuku Onovo. I am a human resource consultant. I like to see myself as the Mary Poppins of HR. What do I mean by Mary Poppins? If you've seen any of Mary Poppins movies, she's the housekeeper who would come into a home that there is a lot of chaos, the children are not behaving well, and with her little time with them, she's able to put them, help the ones with the bad attitude get a right attitude, help the house, get a functional system by which they're able to operate and grow with. And so that's what I see myself as, the Mary Poppins of HR, the one who steps into organizations, help organizations to put proper structure, proper working system, processes that enable growth and development within the organization. Also, the one who would help hold hands with any individual and say, where are you at the moment? All right, let's look at where you are. What do you want to do? And let's start this journey together to where you ought to be. So yes, this is me, the Mary Poppins of HR. Right. Okay. So I was given the grand opportunity and honor for today's event. And I must say that, first of all, I'd like to say thank you very much, sir, for this. I don't want to say that it's because I'm one of your mentees. No, I'm sure you know a lot of HR people. You know a lot of HR managers, obviously, but that you would say, oh, come and do this, I say thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So yes, the discussion for today is the future of work. The future of work. I'm sure we must, at one point in time, we must have heard future of work, future of work. Some of us may be wondering, we don't hear this future of work, Taya. What's it about? Every time future of work, future of work. We may not necessarily, delve into the actual, so I think what I'm trying to say here is the future of work, you can't talk about it or discuss it in 10, 15 minutes kind of discussion. But my objective tonight is to give us an introduction and help us to see a few things that we need to start looking at right now, considering the kind of environment that we're in, the work environment that we're in at the moment. So what is this future of work? It's mainly just looking at the forces that changes, the forces that bring about change that would affect the three deeply connected dimensions of an organization. What are those three deeply connected dimensions of an organization? That is the what. The what refers to the work itself. What kind of work are you doing? Are you a marketing person? Are you a salesperson? Are you a customer service person? Are you a carpenter? Are you a tailor? Whatever work it is, the who. The who now refers to the workplace, the workforce, and that is you and I, the people who do the work, the people who engage in these services. And then we talk about the where, and that's the workplace. Where are we doing this work from? What is our location from where we're, rendering these different services? So it's mainly looking at what are those things that would affect or bring some form of change into these three things. What are the things that would bring a change into your kind of work? What are the things that will bring a change or affect me as an employee or me as a HR manager? What are those things that would bring or affect a change in where I'm working from? Now, I know that a lot of us, yes, we know that 2020 was an amazing, amazing year. But 2020 was a defining year for the work community. It was a big defining year for the work community. It was the year where a lot of organizations who were not open to a few laid back kind of, quote unquote, laid back kind of or ideal kind of work style, but they had no choice. Now, people who didn't just want to hear that work from home are now telling their employees work from home, And so that is one of the things that we say, okay, the pandemic brought a change, right? To how work was done, to how you and I worked, to where we were working from. Okay, now let me start off by saying that the future of work is currently being defined by two major trends. Two things are defining the future of work at the moment. And what are those trends? The first trend is the growing adoption of technologies like artificial intelligence. Now, let me bring it home for us, those here in Nigeria. Artificial intelligence, just a quick example. Imagine for those of us who, our offices are located in high-tech buildings or, buildings that have some certain kind of automated system. Like when you go to some buildings, there is no doorman to open the door, but the door opens. Now, I'm sure we remember that there was a time where there were doormans. Every single building had a doorman to open the door for you. But now, 60% of the buildings don't have doormen. I mean, like really, high-tech organizations don't have doormen by the door. They have automated system. That's an example of artificial intelligence because there's something that has been programmed to that door that senses your presence and opens up. And when you step out, something replays back to that same system saying there's nobody there and the door closes back. That's just an example of a trend right now that's affecting the future of work. Another trend is the changing physical distribution of the workforce and the rise in remote employees and gig workers. Like I mentioned earlier, 2019, it was very rare to see somebody who say, "Oh, I'm working from home." But after the pandemic, it is the norm. That is the new normal right now. And the employers, organizations who were not even thinking of outsourcing works, who were not even thinking of contract work so much like that, right now are outsourcing works to people. So I have clients whom I consult for. I don't want a 9 to 5 HR, but I want a HR that would come in when I want to see the HR, and we talk, we discuss what's on board, and then everybody say goodbye to each other. That is that's what we have at the moment. And so that is those two, artificial intelligence and the physical distribution of these ideas of remote works and gig workers. I must say that my work, my business at the moment, kicked off right after the lift of the lockdown ban, and it's as a result of the new normal. And so I'm one of those people who would say the new normal is benefiting me. Now imagine if I was that person who was bent on saying, "Oh, it has to be 9 to 5. I don't understand the one I have to work from home. That don't." Then I won't be here. I will not be here. Now, I want us to also ask ourselves, right, in this future of work, considering the fact that due to the usage, my apologies, I can't really say what's going on. So I'm trying to go to the second slide. That's where the issue is. Right. Yes. My apologies. I believe it has to do with network issues because okay. If you wouldn't mind, let me just take it back and start all over again.
Is a great night, so please don't go away. Don't go away. You need to hear this. You need to hear this because tonight is a night that we have been waiting for, and I want to believe that you're already getting value. Like she told us that two things or two trends are disrupting the future of work now. Number one is AI, artificial intelligence, which irrespective of the industry where you are, you just have to know about AI. You just have to be aware that something is coming that is going to disrupt that job that you take so seriously, and then you cannot afford. Okay, we are back. We are back. I think it shows now. It shows. It didn't show now. Your screen, your slide showed now. So, however, you just have to know that something is knocking at your door that is called that is ready to disrupt that thing that you are doing right now. So the purpose of this session is to encourage you to also let you know that you should prepare. That you should prepare for the unknown, prepare for the future, and then get ready to learn how to take advantage of what technology or the future is saying. So let's have a speaker back. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir. My apologies on that. All right, so I wanted us to look at what is the global perspective to the future of work? What is the global community saying? Because right now, you must agree with me that the society where we live in, America is not so far. Australia is not so far. It's just a click away. Netherlands is not so far. It's just a click away, and so it's more of a village, in as much as, yes, there are lots of miles to travel, but thanks to technology, we don't really necessarily have to travel those miles, like that. And so what is the global perspective on the future of work? The global perspective is that the need for some skills, such as technological skills, as well as social and emotional skills, will be on the rise. The need for technological, social, and emotional skills will be on the rise. So if you're that person whom, you're solely relying on what your hands can do, your physical hands can do, so to say, then you need to start making some, personal adjustments. All right. And, the global perspective is also saying that, that even as the demand for physical and manual skills begin to decline. So the demand for physical and manual skills will begin to decline as the need for technological, social, emotional skills, be on the rise. These changes will require workers everywhere to deepen their existing skills, their skill sets, or acquire new ones. From a HR point of view, I want to say to every single person, you need to start working on yourself as a human being. When I say as a human being, start working on how you relate with people, your social skills. Start working on how you interpret things that you come across. We'll get into that. I just wanted to say that start working on them, and also companies too will need to start to rethink how work is organized within their organization. I had a client beginning of the year who, they worked. It was they were used to physical kind of activities, but due to the change in the work community, everybody now had to work from home, and because of that point of how do we know that you've done this? How do we know that this had been achieved? You're no longer seeing people physically. So there had to be a change on how things were done in the, a 15 minutes kind of meeting online where everybody will go through their to-do for the day and say, this is what I have. And it's not just saying it. There was a sheet that had to be filled. So you go and you fill your sheet and say, oh, this is what I had. This is what I had for the day. And by the following day, when you come for the following meeting, you must have gone back to that sheet to say, this is, the first item, this is where I am on it. This is what's going on, the challenges on it, if it's been done, if it's been achieved, you state it there. And mind you that it's not just going to put something and stating, oh, I've done it. They would see it. So that particular sheet was what was being used to evaluate each employee. That particular sheet was what was being used as one of the tools actually to use to evaluate each employee. So the global perspective is that there's going to be a rise in some certain kind of skills that we were not really looking at, those skills that we were sort of overlooking back then, but right now they are coming into play. And that is, those skills more of speak to you as a person. Who are you as a person? And so that now takes us to the growth mindset. What is the growth mindset? How do I stay ahead? That's the question for the growth mindset. How do I stay ahead? So yes, some changes are happening. What do I do to ensure that I'm not stuck where I am? You need to, improve yourself. learn new skills. These social skills I just mentioned, go and, do research. For your field, what are the social skills needed for your field? For, what is the emotional skills? When we say emotional skills, empathy, emotional intelligence, you have to, if you're not that person who is, who can empathize with somebody, my sister, my brother, you need to learn it now. You need to go and improve on that part of you being a human being, being able to, put yourself in the person's shoes and, look at the situation from their own angle and say, okay, I see this. All right. So how can this work? All right. Okay. So now I'm just going to take us through a few skills from that growth mindset. Oh, I missed the point. Which is, what is your location? It's time to come out of your comfort zone. It's time to come out of your comfort zone. If you're not the one who is technologically inclined, you just, oh no, I beg this. Forgive me for anyone who, logging on, you're not so conversant with the Nigerian broken English. My apologies. I would also say what I'm saying in proper English. I'm just trying to relate with my people back home. If you're the one who will say, oh, I beg, this work self every time, computer. My sister, my brother, computer is the new pen and paper. Yep, that's the new pen and paper. Your phone now is your new pen and paper. So if you are not technologically inclined, please go and learn it. One of the clients I'm consulting for at the moment, we adopted that style of the other clients of having a daily to-do sheet. And we had one of the staff, his phone went bad. And the young man came to me that, oh, he won't be able to fill his to-do sheet because his phone went bad. The manager, said, oh, no, don't worry. You can come and use my laptop when you need to fill your sheet. This young man refused. He kept going under the excuse of, oh, I don't know how to use a computer. And I was looking at him, I said, you don't know how to use a computer, but you can use a phone. And so one day we sat down and I said, you know what? Bring out your phone. Let's look at this thing. He brought out his phone. And I said, okay, open, a page as though you want to type a text message to somebody. He did it. And I was like, can you see the keyboard? He said, yes. I said, yeah, bring a laptop. We got a laptop. I said, what's the difference with what you see on the keyboard with what's on the laptop? He couldn't talk. And I told him, and I said, you may look at your work as a manual work at the moment, but I want to ask you a question. Do you want to stay here on this particular role and this particular pay forever? You are a family man. Do you want to remain here forever? He said, no. I said, so what exactly is your issue? Somebody is willing to give you their laptop for free and to guide you on how to use it for free. There are a lot of people who have to go to some certain to learn how to use the laptop, the computer system. But this person is willing to do this free of charge for you within the organization at your own free time. And you are just not having an open mind to learn. I said, young man, a time is coming where this, because he was like, oh, that he will write it out and then the other person will help him fill it. And she said, no, you will fill it yourself. Online, you fill it yourself. It is, come out of your comfort zone. Where are you? Are you still that one who is saying, oh no, I don't know how to, for instance, I don't know how to use the Google Sheet. Please go and use it. I didn't know how to use it until 2019 when I was working with a construction company and we needed to have live information of what was happening in the construction company for a particular project. I didn't know how to use it, but thankfully my boss made me go. I learned it myself. All the, because for instance, Google Sheets, which is the Excel, is not as the same way Excel, but with constant usage, you get used to the different things on that particular sheet. So come out of your comfort zone, because the community that we're in right now, it's not going to wait for you. It's moving. And things are changing, things are evolving. And I'm sure you don't want to be that hermit, that person who come out from their cave and just realize that everywhere cars are flying, in the air. I am wondering what happened. This is not the community I knew. No, you need to keep at the same pace with what's going on. Okay, so just to help us, sort of like a way of, if I may say, expo, give us, a little info of what to expect. The skills that will be in high demand for the future. This our future, this future work, this future community. The skills that will be in high demand for this time and this society that we're talking about is, one, creativity. Every organization right now is looking for a creative person. Everyone is looking for somebody who is able to come into the organization and bring new products, new ways of working, new technologies, just bringing something new to the table. It's not the one that you would, the same process and system that has been there, you just step in and then, pam, you continue from there. No, you should think. It's time for us to use this. I'm also speaking to myself. It's time for us to use this. It's no more what somebody else did and then we just continue from there. For instance, going back to the company I talked about, when I introduced this, like, we need to start doing daily stand-ups. HR, no, this can't work. I was like, no, I'm sorry, people. This is it. And for the directors, it was a way of them seeing a live report of daily activities. It wasn't until they called the facility manager, because an estate, it wasn't until they called the facility manager to say, what's going on? What do we have? What are the challenges? They have the link. And so for them, it's just a click away. They see what's going on. They see who has done what. Are there assignments that they had assigned to any of the staff? Is it on their to-do? Those assignments I assigned this person, is it on his to-do? Has this person, even taken the initiative of saying, I have a task, it needs to be on my to-do? So that way they know, okay, they're able to say, okay, this person is actually doing their work. Emotional intelligence, all right? So next point is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. It's time for us now to start relating with each other as human beings. Employer to employee, employee to employer, vice versa. It's time to start relating with each other as human beings. Emotional intelligence, a person's ability to be aware, control and express their own emotions, as well as being cognizant of the emotions of others, describes emotional intelligence. So I'm at that point where I'm angry. I know I'm angry, but I'm asking myself, if I allow this anger to, how does it affect the next person? How does it affect my work? Being able to control that, being able to, and also being aware of the next person's emotion. You can see that somebody is not so happy. The person is, looking morose, down, and probably even crying. And then you step in, maybe as a manager, you step in and say, Lizzie, the report for 2 months, you had 2 months audit, you haven't sent it to me. And you can see this person is not in a state where you'll be asking them for 2 months audits. No. Right. So the next skill that will be in high demand is analytical and critical thinking. Are you that one person who is able to look at a complex problem and prefer solutions, prefer logical and, what's the word now? And reasonable solutions to that particular situation? You're the one to analyze the flow of information from various resources and then you come based on how you've looked at the flow of information, you're able to bring a conclusion that would help the organization. That's what people are looking for. Nobody's looking for the person who's coming to come and sit down and wait for their boss to tell them what to do. No. Because they will ask you, why am I paying you? If it's for me to tell you what to do, then I'm sorry. I might as well probably maybe get a robot or something to tell the robot, do this, do that. But for a human being, I need you to be able to analyze things, look at things, the flow of things. And from that flow, you're able to come to a conclusion, right? Active learning with a growth mindset. Anyone in the future of work needs to actively learn and grow. Your employees are looking for that one person who can show that, I have progressed from A, B, C, D, E. The me from school is not the me now. So I just recently concluded an interview session for a law firm. And one of the questions I was asking them in that interview was that, what is that outstanding experience? What is that outstanding experience that you've had? And what was your take home from that outstanding experience? Now, what I was trying to find out was their growth pattern. For you, what happened to you 2 years ago? And how were you able to make yourself a better person from that 2 years ago incident? That's what I was looking for. That was my goal. And so I need to see that this person is an active learner with a growth mindset, right? So another skill that organizations will be looking for at the moment is judgment and decision-making skills. So the person who is able to look at it at a particular situation, most especially if, okay, now let me use myself, for example. In my own profession, I should be able to look at a situation and make good judgment calls on that. That's what employers are contacting me for. This is what we have on ground. Our employees are not doing this. This is not happening. This is not working. We've done this, we've done that. I should be able to look at the situation from A, B, C, and make a good judgment call and say, okay, I think this is what's the issue. This was the issue. This is what should be able to work for the organization, right? Interpersonal and communication skills. Interpersonal and communication skills. The ability to exchange information and meaning between people, the means where people are able to hone their ability to communicate effectively, being able to communicate with somebody. It's not just coming to tell somebody A, B, C, D, but you're able to communicate with them, but not just communicating with them, but communicating with them I'm talking to a human being and ensuring that that person understands what I'm saying. And not just because I want to say what I have to say. No, I need to ensure that you understand what I'm saying, right? Leadership skills. See, this one is a no-brainer. This particular skill is a no-brainer. Every organization is looking for that person who will step in, take the lead, and, help others to fall in line, or no, not fall in line. That's not the word. Help others to do better. Yeah. Help others to do better. Leadership skills. You're being able to inspire, to help others become the best versions of themselves. So the exit I talked about, we were looking to, recruit for a more senior role. And I had one of the directors on the last exercise of the interview, and he kept telling all the candidates, I'm employing you as a CEO of this estate. I want you to tell me how we're going to be able to make money. Show me the numbers, right? go home, do a good financial analysis for us, and show me how the money is going to come in. I want to see where the money is going to come in. Now, what they're automatically saying is, I want to see your leadership skill. I want you to tell me that you understand this role, because the role was actually a very senior role. I want you to tell me how you're going to step in, take the lead. The people that are looking up to you, how are you going to get them to also do their own work? How are you going to inspire them to do their work? Because it is by them doing their individual work that this money flows in. Okay, so organizations are looking for people with leadership skills. You're able to inspire people. You're able to help people become a better versions of themselves. You're able to help people to learn to take on leadership roles in projects. So it's not just a case of, oh, we have this coming up. Okay, no problem. Manager is around. No, but that person who is saying, okay, there's a project coming up. All right, I'll lead the team for this particular project. Good, beautiful. So are you that kind of person? If you're not, please, it's time for us to go and train ourselves, become better. Diversity and cultural intelligence, the skill to understand, respect, and work with others despite differences in race, culture, language, age, gender, sexual orientation. Yeah, you heard me. Political and religious beliefs. So the company where I used to work in 95, in 2018, 2019, the construction company I talked about earlier, one of the staff with us was a Muslim. And I remember that there was a day we needed a particular design. She, an architect, we needed a particular design to come out by 4:30, latest 5 p.m. that particular day. And it was a Friday. My young Sissy had gotten up and heading out to pray. Now, I was livid. I was like, what do you mean you are going to pray? Don't you understand? We need this design now. The client needs to see it, blah, blah, blah. Da, da, da. But it was after a few minutes of me just calming down and saying, hold on. This girl, this is her religion. You can't come at a particular time and expect her that this is the lifestyle she has been going. She can't just, and if she's going to be, it should be at her own discretion, not you enforcing it. And so for me, it helped me to calm down and say, that's all right. This is your own stuff. On a Friday, you have to. What am I going to do about it? But all I'm asking is, please, once you come in, can we get right to it? And she was like, fine, no problem. And so after that incident, encountering other people in that kind of situation, I already tell myself, it's fine. So once you come in, how soon can I get it? Right? And so it helped me. So I'm saying that that person who is able to, work with people from different beliefs, value systems, gender, race. I'm an Igbo girl. I won't say I can't work with a Yoruba person because they're not Igbo. Of course not. No, right. Technology skills, a certain level of comfort around technology. Like I mentioned, my young man who said, oh, I don't have to use a laptop, but he can use a phone. If you can use a phone, you can use a laptop. That's my belief. Yes, there may be a few things that you may not want to do, but just to type. All I need you, let's start with typing first, and then we graduate to other things. It's fine. But more of you saying, I'm open to this. I'm open to get into this, right? Those are the kind of people that organizations will be looking for. All right. Adaptability, embracing change. Coming back to, this young man, he has been used to writing, and we are saying, Uncle, no more writing. Start typing it into a sheet online. I need to see it at every point in time I log in. I need to see it. So if you're that kind of person that wherever you go to, you're not stuck on your own ways. You're not saying, oh, this is how I know how to do it. No. If an organization comes and says, All right, people. From today going forward, we're going to be having 10 minutes every hour. I know it sounds bizarre right now. 10 minutes meetings, 10 minutes every hour. So we'll have meeting by 2 p.m., 10 minutes. Yes, it will be a struggle. But if you're that kind of person that says, I'm open to what's going on, you are a good candidate for any and every role. You are a good candidate. Okay. Now, this for me is the best part of it for me at the moment, which is work with a purpose. I'm going to say this to every one of us. Be deliberate about improving yourself. When I say be deliberate about improving yourself, what do I mean? Like I had mentioned earlier, learn new skills. Ask yourself questions. For this, my field, what's the current trend? What's the current information for this field of mine? If you don't know it, go and learn it. That's how you put yourself ahead. That's how you put yourself in a good position. That's how you are making deliberate effort of being in a well positioned place where somebody can see you and say, okay, I think you are one of our candidates that we're looking for. Now, position yourself correctly. What do I mean by position yourself correctly? Are you being seen? When I say, are you being seen? I'm going to bring it back to technology and also add it with social media. The things you do, who knows that this is what you do? So if all these skills that I've just gone through, if you're that person who, maybe probably you have all of them or more, well, who knows that you do? Who knows what you do? Nobody knows what you do. So how will people engage you in this society that we're in right now? How are people going to engage you, right? And then my question is, okay, so probably you're putting yourself out there that, oh, this is what I do. I'm like this and that kind of person, ABCD. My question is, who is the person seeing you? So more like, who are you presenting yourself to? Who are you making known that this is what I do, right? And then where are you being seen? Where are you actually taking this information to? So all of this, right? We have to be deliberate. You have to be deliberate about all these things. Who is seeing you? Where are you being seen? How are you even being seen? Present yourself correctly. The right words. Words have powers to create pictures, perceptions. And so I may not necessarily have seen your face, but if I go to your LinkedIn page and you have described yourself in a certain manner, I'm going to have a picture based on what you have described yourself with. I will have a certain picture in my head. And so if that picture is not tallying with what I'm looking for, possibly it's not even tallying with what you wanted to put out there, then I'm going to jump over, especially for people like me, the HR people that are recruiting. We're looking for certain kind of people. And so when I see the way you have presented yourself, I'm going to jump over to the next, right? So I'm going to end here with be deliberate about improving yourself, learn new skills, go out there. We have a good tool, which is the internet. Learn new skills, get new information, position yourself correctly, your kind of work, the people that you want to see, where are they? Ask yourself that question. Where are they for them to see me, right? And then you move to that place. Imagine if, for instance, how do I, I'm trying to put this into a better picture. Okay. This is something that we all can relate to. A young lady who wants to get married. She says she's looking for a husband. She's obviously not going to be sitting in married women meetings that she wants to get husband. They are married women. You will go to the place where the young guys are, the single guys, and go there. So you ask yourself, where are the young men? I'm just using that for example. Where are they? These people that I want to see me based on my kind of work, where are they? Where can I find them? You move yourself to that place and position yourself. How do you position yourself? Describe yourself in a very wonderful way with the right words to create that picture, that perception of yourself. Now, can I also add, peradventure you've logged on and you're wondering, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. It's all right. It's fine. It's okay. Coach Taiwo can help you, right? He can help you do it. Reach out to him, send him a DM. You are in good hands. Okay. So on that note, I would like to say thank you. I've come to the end of my presentation. I hope that I've been able to convince you and not confuse you.
This is awesome. Wow. I am wowed again tonight. Wow. Give it up to this lady. Bang. 7. Let's do 7 buzzer. Those on IG, on Facebook, please begin to drop your 7 buzzer. And those of I know a lot of our ambassadors are on YouTube. I want you to begin to drop. There is Ambassador Lillian on YouTube, Ambassador Tobiloba, Ambassador Ezekiel, Ambassador Joseph. All the ambassadors of the Personal Branding College alumni are loaded on YouTube. So begin to drop the 7 buzzer for Ambassador Amarachuku Onovo. Wow! I am wowed again tonight. Oh, thank God for blessing me with these people. Wow!
Interesting.
Look at you.
Thank
this
you,
is awesome.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you for this wonderful session. I am blessed already. I know you have another session that you need to go. So please stretch your hand and let us pray for this lady. I hope to host you again. This is the first time I'm hosting her after our training, our personal branding training. I never knew that she's this loaded. Wow. I'm bringing you on board again. Oh, so like she said, you are in safe hands. And let us have your social media handles. And also, if you want to learn more about improving yourself, about getting yourself prepared for the future of work, please visit our website, www.personalbrandingcollege.com. We are opening the next admission very, very soon before the end of this 10 days challenge. So please get that ready. Wow, this is awesome. So let us pray for her. Let us stretch our hands out there and say, God bless her abundantly in the name of Jesus. You will continue to be a conduit of blessings and solutions to our generation in the mighty name of Jesus. We celebrate you and pray that God bless you abundantly in the name of Jesus. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening. Wow. Look at you. So, I hope you are getting value already. Wow, this is awesome. Like I told you the other time, I said, we are here to help you. We are here to assist you, to be a blessing to you, to help you to become the best that God has created you to be. Don't allow the situation of this country irrespective of the country that you are situated, do not allow the situation of that country to weigh you down, to erode you of your glorious destiny. And that is one of the reasons why we are doing this, to help you, to see opportunities in challenges. And my next speaker is already in the house or in the room and he's already waiting. In fact, this man is loaded. I don't know how to. We knew each other. I think we've known each other for over a decade now, because we were connected on a Forex platform. He used to be one of my bosses on Forex. I used to be one of the boys of Forex now. So he's one of the bosses of Forex. And I remember there was a time I traveled back to the country about 10 years or 7 years ago. Yes. And he invited me to a platform and was like, wow. They were expecting one big time overlook. I just sneak in, bang, bang, bang. And I delivered, bam, and I ran away. Wow. I think you need to unmute yourself. So tonight, Mr. Abiodun Babalola, who is a business coach, also will be taking us through how to productize information. We'll be taking us through productizing information. Productizing, what did I call it? It is productizing information. This man is loaded. Like I told you, he's a business coach, and we are looking at productizing information. You just have to sit back, get your notebook and your pen. And if you can snap, begin to snap. If you can screenshot, begin to screenshot. If you can write, or you can, I gave you permission to record. If you can record, you record. Or however, you can watch the replay before we pull down the video. So over to you. Join me in welcoming Mr. Abiodun Babalola. Welcome on board, sir.
You are the boss, well done, sir. Thank you very, very much. In fact, I was listening to Amaka, and it's so bad, because that is where the world is going. Creativity.
She really wowed me tonight.
It's just eating it back to back. Oh. And thank God that even coming from a female, if it's a man now, they say, okay, they have that box. But now she's just letting us know that that is where the world is going. If you are not creative, if you are not emotionally inclined, and then you are not analytic in nature, like for us has been an analysis from the day of Forex. So being an analytic person is just part of what we do on a daily basis. I guess you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
So today we are going to be talking about just like what every other person has been talking about. If anyone who has followed this program, I don't know, after the 10 days, and your business, your life is not transformed, it's possible that either you are not listening or you are not taking action. Even me alone, when I watch the replay, if I'm unable to get online and I'm watching the replay, it's just like, wow. I watched how to monetize your skill 2 days ago, and then my note was full. And
yeah, with Pastor Ben Sheyola. Wow. Yes.
My note was full, and I was learning something like new acronyms like PAT and stuff like that. And like, oh, this is amazing. And knowledge is just continuous. You can never finish learning. In fact, it has been said that the day you feel like you have learned everything, that means that you are dying. So, and then I know none of us is ready to die right now. So without wasting much time, I don't know if I'm permitted to share my screen. Okay, all right. Now I'll share my screen with us so that we can see what is there for us to learn. At the same time too, okay, let me just open this thing down so that for us as an individual, we should understand that business and information as of today has become something different, and then we need to look at information from different angles. When I saw this from Mr. Tayo Balogun and said, oh, we want to talk about how to productize information. This is what the majority of us actually lacked when we started business, and then we just feel like once you have the information, you have the whole thing. Once you have the information, you are there. But having information alone cannot really give us the edge if we don't know how the information works. And that is why I'm going to be discussing how to productize your information. Information is commodity. Everybody has information now. And because information is commodity, even there's nothing at all that you are looking for these days that you cannot get. I've not really seen that thing. I've not really seen that information that you're looking for. And so why are we still believing that, okay, information is what will take us to where we want to be? Because having information alone cannot really get us what we want. So for us, if you have been listening to every other person, you will know that it is not just about information. Everybody who has been here, they are not just talking about information. They are talking about what will shape your life, what will shape everything that you do as an individual. So today, I just want to add to what every other speaker has given us. So it's not something that is going to be very, very interesting. And I want us to be very, very interactive also, because we all know that we have information at our fingertips, but the kind of information that you have, I don't know how much you manage information. I don't know how you want to transform that information into something critical. But there are basic things that you need to know about information. Why do you have to even productize the information that you have? I've seen a lot of friends, even I had some of my friends that when you go to their library, you will see a lot more information than the one that you think they can consume. They have so many hard drives. They have different hard drives. Hard drive A, this one is 1 gig. Hard drive B, another 1 gig. Even sometimes the hard drive, like 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 3 terabyte, they have this information out there. But the truth is, they are just accumulating those information without doing anything about it. And the area we now need to understand that information is not just about accumulation of everything that comes to our way, but we need to now learn how to productize this information. And I'm going to be doing that in a very short way. And then because information is commodity, so if you have information at your disposal, you have so many information right now, I want to tell you that information has become commodity. It is just like every other thing out there. Just tell me one problem that you want to solve that you cannot get that information on Google or Bing or any other search engine. Just go there and type. You are definitely going to get that information. Now, the information is accessible to people. That is why the information is commodity. So there's nothing special about you having information that you cannot transform to a product. Because that information that you have, it is the same information somebody else can get. Just imagine if you have all this information around you, and then you cannot put that information into a product that can benefit the life of other person. That information is useless. And because information is just commodity, ordinary information is not scalable. You must always understand that information alone is not scalable. Information alone cannot be transformed into something unique. If you have information and you're not doing anything about it, it's not scalable, because that information that you have in the last 1 year, if care is not taken, that same information will become obsolete. There are so many information that we have had in the past. And today, when you talk about those info, you will know that those information are no longer relevant. In fact, statistics shows that information gets obsolete every 7 months. So the information that you have had in the last 12 months, the information that you have had in the last 18 months is no longer usable if you have not transformed that information into a product. And just having information is not a result. Because you have information with you does not really mean that that information will give you a result. So having information alone is not what we need in this century, because we need information that can get people results. So what I'm doing basically is to let you know that having information is just like a commodity. A lot of people already have information. You also have information. Everybody has access to information. But what we don't have access to is what that information can turn to. What we don't have access to is the result that information can give to us. And then because at individual level, we must understand what that information can do to all of us. For instance, we have people who do online training. They organize the information and they turn into a product. People do live events. It is the combination of information that they turn into live events, and that live event can go on to turn to a product. And just because you have that information and then you are unable to organize the information into a product, it is what is stopping you from becoming the better part of yourself. Just like Pastor was saying, like, the end of this training is for you to become the better part of yourself. It's for you to be transformed. Now, having the information alone cannot make you transform. The transformation will occur when you start organizing the information and turn it to a product, or you apply the information to yourself. Just like what Amara was saying, she was talking about emotional intelligence. You can learn about emotional intelligence. You can learn about leadership. You can learn about being creative. You can learn about that, but not applying those things that you have learned is the same thing as not learning it at all. So, if you remember, I don't know whether any one of you have read this book called The Think and Grow Rich. It's a very old book, but it's a book that you just need to keep reading over and over again. Now, in Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon said something that knowledge is not power, but applied knowledge is power. Before, we used to believe that because you have knowledge, then you have power. Because you have knowledge, then you have money. Because you have knowledge, you have all the things that the world can give. But today, I guess you've already seen a lot of people who have knowledge, but they are still poor. They have knowledge and they don't have power. They have knowledge and they are still struggling. The reason why they are struggling, the reason why they don't have power, the reason why they are poor is because they lack the capacity to transform, to organize that knowledge that they have into a product that will solve a problem for a particular set of people. Because nobody wants to buy information. The same thing, nobody wants to buy a product. People want to buy one thing. They want to buy results. So when you have information becomes a product if it has a process or a method towards solving a particular problem, not just a principle. Now, when you are familiar with online business, there's something that you always discover. I don't know whether you have seen the trend. You will see a man attending your training, maybe whatever training that you are running, maybe you are running FS training, or you are running making money online, you are running Facebook ad training, or traffic generation bootcamp, or how to launch whatever big training that you are giving out. You will see some people, they will come for your training, and 2 or 3 days later, or maybe let's say a month later, that same person who has attended your training will start floating a similar training about what they have attended. Now, they start doing the same training. Instead of applying what you have taught them, be obsessed with it, create process and method from it, make that method their own, test it, and then they can now offer it to other people. At that time, they have gained experience, they have gained new knowledge, they have seen what works for them, what doesn't work. They have seen how information can affect their personality, or how their personality is embedded into that information. And then eventually, they will be able to tweak it to suit them. And if they now want to train other people, they'll start training. But at this time now, they have owned it. They already have something that they've added to it. The information is no longer the person. But today, you just see people, they attend training, and the next day is they are teaching the same thing. Now, there's nothing wrong in doing it, but there's a lot of things that is wrong with it. Because when you attend a training, for instance, you attend a training of Mr. Taiwo Balogun, maybe FS training, it has taken him more than 10 years to refine the strategy that is giving you. Now, this strategy is embedded in his risk tolerance, and whether it's a conservative trader or aggressive trader, this method that he has created is actually embedded in his personality. But you will not know. Fine, you can come up there and explain how the strategy works. It does not really mean that when you apply the same strategy, the same way he has taught you, you are going to get the same results. Because he knows exactly when the strategy will work and how he has suited that same strategy to his personality. You have not really done that. So taking the strategy, we might work for a period of time, and then you just discover that the strategy doesn't work again. Then you now be wondering like, oh, Mr. Taiwo Balogun taught us this thing, and then the strategy is not working. It is not that the strategy is not working. It is you who has not owned the strategy, adapted to your own personality and your life, so that it can work for you. The same thing applies to you turning information to a product, because process, method needs to be designed to solve a particular problem. We can all train general principle. In fact, most of the training that you see today is about general principle, and anybody can train general principle. You can read a book and go online and start teaching what you have read in the book. It does not mean that you can apply it. But in order for you to be able to turn information into a product, you cannot just teach general principle. You need to convert that information into a process or a method that solves a particular problem, because people don't buy results. People only buy results, rather. People only buy results. They don't buy information. People don't buy information. People buy results. People have problems in their life, whether marriage, relationship, business, and other health and other area of their life. We all have problems. We all have challenges. Our challenges might be differ in attitude, in altitude, but we still have challenge. Some people's challenge might be to make 1 million naira, while some people's challenge might be to make a 10 million naira, while some people's challenge is to make 100 million. At a point where you are struggling to make 10 million, the strategy you are going to use is different from when you want to make 100 million. Because it's always very difficult to move from your 1,000 to your first million, and between your first million to your 5 million. When you get to 10 million, it becomes easier. You can move from 10 million to 20 million in less than 1 year, and then it can take you 5 years to move from 1 million to 5 million. That is the way business work. But because people don't buy that information, what you want to do as an individual is not to think about the information that you have, is to start thinking in terms of the result that you want to give to people. So even if you have all this information, the question I want to ask you is this: can the information that you have solve problems for people? Can that same information give a specific result for people? If the information that you have gives specific result for people, then you are in business. And that is why you can start directly from the existing information that you have. If you can answer that question, like all the information put together that I have, can it solve a particular problem for people? If it can solve a particular problem for people, then your information is relevant. Just like every other person said, like if you don't have relevant information, it's going to be a problem. So if your information is relevant, then that same information should be able to give specific results for people. And that is why you now put that information into a package, into a program, and eventually return to a result, because people want results in their life. Those people who are overweight, they want to lose weight. And the reason why they want to lose weight is not just because they want to lose weight, it's because of the transformation. So when what you are thinking in your mind is not about the information, it's the transformation as a result of the information. Now, you are not just giving someone information in form of results, you are giving that person a transformational result. So transformational result in the sense that someone is obese, and that same person has not been able to get the right man just because maybe she's too fat. Now, if you have information for that person to lose weight, then the person will be able to get the Mr. Right. So you are not just giving that person information or result, you are transforming the person's life. And that's exactly what you knowing how to turn information into a product will do for you, because you are actually transforming people's life as a result of the information that you have packaged in form of a product that is solving a specific problem. So think about it in this way. All the information that you have had, how do I make that information turn into a result and giving a transformation to people, to the people that you really want to help, because it's all about process. Once you can create a process with your information, it is bound to turn to a product. That is why you see that there are a lot of information out there, but it's not in a process form. And how do you know that? How do you now make it in a process form? For example, if I am giving you a solution or I'm giving you an information, that information that I'm giving you, maybe I have used that information before and I am getting a result. Let me give you an instance. I have online training. Mr. Taiwo Balogun has online training about personal branding. And if he just give you information about personal branding and Mr. A use that information, he doesn't get he gets X results. Another person use that information, he gets Y results. Another person use that information, he gets X, Y, Z results. That is not a repeatable information because it is not in process. Now, if he gives you a training and because he has used that training for himself, he knows the first thing you need to do, he knows the second thing that you need to do, he knows the third thing that you need to do, and if you do it in that way, you are likely to get the result that he says, and that makes it a process. So even the information is coming, most of the information that you see around, it is not a processed information, it is not methodological. And how do you know that a particular information is methodological? First thing first is every information that is methodological is scalable. It's scalable in the sense that it can make you 1 million. If you optimize it, it can give you 2 million. If you keep optimizing it, it can give you 3 million. That's why I use the word sword. The first thing is it's scalable. If the information is not scalable, it cannot be turned into a product because you cannot scale it, you cannot transfer it, and you cannot optimize it. So being optimized simply means that knowing exactly what is wrong in it, knowing exactly areas that is not functioning well, and unplug that and plug what makes it work. It is not repeatable. Now, every information that you have today that you cannot give to someone else and that person get the same result, it cannot be converted to a product. So if information is converted to a product, or you can productize your information when it is scalable, when it can be optimized, when it's repeatable. Because you want something that is predictive. When something is repeatable, it's predictive. Predictive in the sense that, for instance, I have a training, and the training is making me say 7-figure income in 1 year. Now I now give you that training. Even if that training is not making you 7-figure in your first year, at least within 18 months, it should make you 5 figures. That is repeatable. So for every result that I get, if you follow it A to Z, you should be able to get a similar result. That is repeatable. And it is repeatable when it turns to a product. So most times, when you have information and you cannot process that information into something that is repeatable, it is just information. But if you can process it to something that is repeatable that you can give to someone else, and the person will get the same result, and you can predict and say, oh, if you follow this step, you're going to get this X and Y Z result. That is repeatable and that is predictable. Then is this something that that can be duplicatable? If you have an information, you have a process that cannot be duplicated, then it is just a mere information. Everything that you have needs to follow the sword. I actually coined this myself, like, oh, if I'm organizing my information, I want to see that information that before it turns to a product, and I put it through sort test. Is it scalable? Can it be optimized? Is it repeatable? And is it something that can be duplicated? Now, how do I get to do that? I share it with people and ask them about the result that they get. Now, if they can get a similar result with the result I'm getting, that means that it is scalable, that means that it is repeatable, that means that it is optimizable, which means I can optimize it and it could be duplicated. It could be duplicated. And that's exactly what you want to start thinking like, oh, the information I have, if possible, I can process this information and it can give me this. Then that information is easy to return to a product. Now, so how do you get to do that, turning your information into a product? The first thing first that I want to start thinking is what I call start with quantifiable results. Every information that turns into a product starts with quantifiable results. You see, there are 1,001 online courses. Today, we have million people even doing online courses. And only 20% of those courses will sell. And the rest of it will just be just another course. And I'll tell you one simple reason: when you move your just mere information and plan to turn it into a product and make it sell, is having a quantifiable result. If you check 80% of the training courses that do not sell, you will notice that most of them do not have quantifiable results. When I say quantifiable results, what do I mean by quantifiable results? It is not a result-based information. Like, for instance, personal branding. Let me use Mr. Taiwo as a case study. Personal branding. How to launch your personal branding, or how to brand yourself to grow your business and to also launch your career. Now, if after the training, the person who attends the personal branding training cannot grow his business as a result of the personal branding training, or cannot launch his career as a result of the personal branding training, then that training is a failed training. But because he has structured the training in such a way that it has a quantifiable result, at the end of the training, you will have a solidified personal brand. You will have a personal brand that will generate you X and Y, Z of income. If you are creating a training on health, after 7 days, after 90 days, you will lose 100 pounds. That is a quantifiable result. So people already have it in their mind what result they will achieve after consuming your information. So you don't just want to wait and say, oh, it's just about information. You want to start thinking about it from the angle of what is the quantifiable result that I need to give to the people that really need that my information. That is what will determine how your information will now be organized to turn into a product. So because if you don't have that quantifiable result, you can have so many information, but when you have a quantifiable result, you already know where you want to get. You already know your reaching end. You already have the end in mind. Just like Stephen Covey said, you must begin with the end in mind. So your end is the quantifiable result. For instance, you want to teach people how to launch business. You want to teach people how to start to launch the business. Launch your business in 90 days. That means that if somebody attends that training and is unable to launch his business in 90 days, that means there's something either wrong with the person or something is wrong with the information. So you want to make sure that the information that you have can give that specific result. So most times, people don't start with quantifiable results. So now I want to give us a very simple way that I have used and that helped me to transform any information at all that I have into a product. It's very simple, and then if any one of us go about this, I don't really know how much money you can make. Now, this is what I do on a regular basis. And I guess last week, I spent on majority of my last week consuming information. And consuming information is not just about consuming information. I attended a training called Preeminence Mastery by J. Abraham. And I saw Mr. Taiwo Balogun in the previous group, maybe last year, November. The first training actually came up last year, November.
Yes, yes.
And this year now, you had, yes, I saw you on the group.
I was supposed to join this one, but I was busy.
You understand? So I actually joined behind the scene, which I paid about $97. And then the reason why I joined was because I know Jay Abraham. I have been following Jay Abraham for years, and I know how much he talks about preeminence, his philosophy, and everything around preeminence philosophy. And I wanted to have it hands down. And that was why I joined. It was a 5-day training. Each day is about 3 hours. And we also have 1 hour for question and answer. So I'm spending like 4 hours for 5 days. That's about 20 hours in a week. Now, the information is given has been turned to a product and refined over a period of time, over like 30 years. So when he's talking, he's actually talking from experience, from the client that he has had, and putting everything together. And those are the things that will play a role when you are transforming the information that you have into a product. That is why you can have a particular information, and another person will have that same information. But when you are processing that information into a product, your own product will sell, another person will just be another information that nobody will even reckon with. Today, if you want to Google anything at all, you get it out there. But reading it alone may not even make any meaningful impact in your life. But if somebody else has put this, remove all the irrelevance and had all the relevant information, and it's easily turned into a product. Now, how do I go about it? The first thing I do is, and I call this the discovery stage. First thing first is, irrespective of the information that you want to process into a product, the first thing you need to ask yourself is, who am I processing this information for? You need to know the who. For instance, every information that I've processed into a product is designed for business owners. And for day one, I have not moved away from being a business owner. And that is the who. You must always ask yourself, who are you serving? Because processing information is about serving a person. And then this is the way you start thinking about it. Look at yourself as the who. Look at yourself 5 years ago. Look at something that you are struggling with 5 years ago. Look at all those information that you now gather within that 5 years ago that has changed your life and turned you to who you are today. Those information that you have, that you put together, that you read trainings, seminars, conferences, and other material that you put together that change the who of you in 5 years, is relevant for somebody who is now in that shoe that you were 5 years ago. But all you need to know is, how do you package it into a product? So the first thing first is, the question I want to ask you is, who? Discover who do you want to serve. Do you want to serve somebody who cannot ask a lady out? Do you want to have somebody who cannot take a lady on a date? Do you want to serve someone who wants to grow his business from 1 team to 2 or 3 teams? Or do you want to serve someone who wants to have system into his business? Or do you want to serve someone who is having marital issue, maybe because of miscommunication? Whatever problem that you want to solve, you must be able to know the who. Now, because you can define the who, it is easier to define the problem. When you know the who, then the next thing I want to do is to define the problem. Now, for instance, you have your hard disk out there. You have so many hard disks that you have information. Now, if you go through your hard disk, you will discover one thing, which I've also discovered, that most of the information that we put together, most of the information that we gather, are information that is related to our interests. If you check my hard disk, most of the information that you see there is financial markets and business development, business growth, business training, online, digital, marketing and sales, product development. You hardly see me talking about relationship. You hardly see me talking about health. You hardly see me talking about all those things. Now, when you scan your hard disk, you will see who. Because most of the information that you have are information that are solving the problem that you also want to solve. Now, if you have solved the problem for yourself, you should be able to solve that same problem for other people. So define the problem that you want to solve for people. And define the problem is very easy. If you don't know problem to solve for people, I have a strategy that I use. I use 3 websites, which is not included in this slide, but you can write it down. The first one is Amazon. I go to Amazon and then type the keyword that is related to the problem that I want to solve. And I will see books that have been published that is related to that. Now, I am not interested in the book. What I'm interested here is the review of the book. So I'll go down, and then start reading what people are saying, what real life problem that people are talking about that they have been able to solve as a result of reading that book. Now, from this review, you will see a lot of real life problems that people are solving. And like Steve Kobe said, he said something that is very paramount. He said, what is most personal, it is most general. Things that are personal to you, problem that you want to solve is actually the same problem somebody somewhere also want to solve. But it's just that because you are so much particular about you solving that problem, you don't even know that there are 1,000 or 1 million people how they all want to solve the same problem. But the day you now go to Amazon, you start seeing people having that similar problem that you have solved for yourself, and you are already in the business of transforming your information into your products. Now, once you define that, the next thing is to validate that. I don't use only Amazon. I also use a site called Quora. When you go to Quora, Quora will give you some of the problems that people are having. People post questions in Quora, and then what you should be interested in is the question that is related to the problem that you want to solve. Now, this will even give you the outline of the problems. And then once you can gather all those problems, now check those problems with the information that you have. The information that you have, does it provide solution to those problems?
I think that's Nigerian factor for you. But are you getting value tonight? I am getting value. In fact, my phone has been working, typing points and, some of those nudges that Mr. Abiodun Babalola has been dropping on this platform tonight. And I want to believe that you are also getting value so that you begin to see some of those products that are at your disposal some of the information at your disposal as products. And that is the reason why we came up with this subject, the subject of productizing information. A lot of us are loaded with information that we are now overloaded. And some of those things are not making us fortunes. Some of those things are what we should be using to create something meaningful for others and also for ourselves. Because information, to me, I believe is not power until it is being processed, like Mr. Abiodun said, it's being processed, and then applied. When you process it over the years and you now apply it, then you can now turn it to product. And that is also my strategy in productizing information. I have been in the creative industry for I can't remember, over 2 decades before I go into forex. Yes, before I venture into forex, I've been in creative industry for over 2 decades now. Yeah, and for a couple of years, I've not been teaching about personal branding. I've not been teaching about graphic design. If I tell you that I am a professional graphic designer, you won't believe it. Some of these designs that you see on the screen, designed by me. Yeah, I've worked with advertising agencies, different advertising agencies, and this is part of the things that took me to Central Bank of Nigeria, working as consultant with them. Yeah, working with a consulting firm, and some of the major businesses that or jobs that we do is for Central Bank of Nigeria. So you'll be surprised. I didn't start today. So some of the things I'm teaching now, my personal branding class, in some of my one-on-one coaching sessions, are things that I've gathered over the years, processed, tried and error. There was a time I did animation training. Yes, I'm not talking of this animation that people are doing now. This what's the name of this app that you can use with phone? I'm talking about 3D Max, 4D Max, Maya. That was around 2002, 2001, 2002, when people have not even understand. A lot of people don't understand what is animation in Nigeria. I did the training. I went for the training. I was like, building my creativity arsenal. Yes, that was what I was doing there. And today it pays off. One of the courses I'm working on to share with you people after this 10 days challenge is how to brand yourself and travel the world with little or no capital. Build your personal brand and travel the world without you spending even for visa fee, ticket, without you paying for all those things. By the time I'm telling you from experience, something that I've practiced that is working for me. So it's one of the things I hope to present to you before the end of this program also, but it's going to be special. I just want to do this time around. I want to have a small group of people on WhatsApp. Then there will be Zoom sessions also at a very reduced price. But if you miss this session, believe me, the next session I'm taking the price to 75k, 100,000. But it will surprise you that they offer the launch price for now, between now and on the 10th of this program, is just less than 5,000. Let me just put it that way. Less than 5,000. And I'm going to be showing you how you can build your brand, apply and attract established brands both in Nigeria and abroad, how to get booked on international platforms for free, that they will invite you for free and they will pay you. Even if you are a minister of the gospel, they will give you honorarium. But there's a caveat there. I am not promising that, because I do minister in some platform abroad that they don't give me honorarium, but that's not the reason why I'm doing it anyway. So these are some of the things that I've practiced, I have processed. One of my mentees was asking me one day. He said, "Sir, I just want you to help me to get just one speaking engagement in the US. Is okay for me." And most of the times I used to follow his stuff on social media. I follow what he does, most of the things he has been doing, and I realized that already he has openings in Norway and some part of Europe. And I told him, I said, do you know what is missing in what you're doing? You've not asked your partners over there to involve you in their programs, either virtually or physically. Yeah, and he said, wow, I think that is what is missing. Thank you, sir. That was all. So you can imagine if you now sign up into my inner circle of that program, you will be surprised of what you will be getting from that program. And I'll also be teaching you how to, people used to think that how to get visa to America, Britain, Europe, and some of these countries that is difficult. Yes, it might be difficult if you don't have the right information. But if you have the right information, it is very easy. With confidence, you go to embassy and attend the interview without forging any documents. Yes. Don't worry. Let's get there. While we are waiting for Mr. Biodun Babalala, I think the network, NEPA has shown themselves. They've proved that, yes, this is Nigeria. So while we are waiting for him, Let me see some of the things that he has been sharing with us that we can also deliberate. And if you have questions, please drop it in the chat box on Facebook and also on YouTube, because we are multi-streaming to both platforms. But I can't have access to my Facebook right now on the system. But I can see what is happening through my phone. And also if you're on YouTube, drop it. I'm seeing it directly on YouTube. Follow up what is happening on YouTube. However, please, I want you to begin to take steps. Begin to take a step of faith. Let me put it that way. Begin to take a step of faith concerning what you are learning from this platform, because there are things that you see. I know a lot of trainers out there that will charge you for some of these things that we are teaching you. I know someone that will charge you 100, 150, 200K. Yes, but after I returned from the US, I said, no, while I was in the US, I've been thinking about this. I also have another program that I want to bring on board. And that is, it's going to be part of what I will be sharing in my inner circle of a product. Okay, Mr. Biodun says it's raining over there. It's raining in his place right now, and the network has gone. Okay, Mr. Biodun, no problem. I will see what we can do to have you to complete. Okay, he's trying to fix it. We'll see what we can do. If you cannot come up tonight, then we will see what we can do. Let me quickly reply him. Okay, sir. Sorry. All right. So we'll see how we can host him again to conclude this session. But however, one of the things I also want to share in my inner circle is certification courses, that the hot cake certification courses that can help you in the future of work. Don't forget, the future is now. The future has begun. Ambassador Amara just showed us some things. See, among those things that she shared with us, I will be sharing where to get certification. See, the secret of the future of work is not in your degree. It is in skills and certifications. Can somebody help me to drop that in the chat box, either on Facebook or on YouTube? Yes, the secret of the future, and one of the things that will guarantee your job or your work in the future from now is skill and certifications. So I will be sharing some of the high demanding jobs with you in my inner circle program, and certifications that you can do within 3 months, 6 months, and get, and you can get remote job even from Canada, from abroad, and even from Nigeria. Yeah, either as a freelancer or you get employed. And you see, these are some of the things that can be taking you across nations of the world. I think I need to pause here because it's like I'm giving you expo. But if you want to subscribe, you can chat me up on WhatsApp. And WhatsApp, let me quickly drop my WhatsApp line here. WhatsApp only, please don't call that line. It's deaf and dumb number, so don't call it. Just send a WhatsApp message. It is a deaf and dumb phone number. So just send. I had to use that sentence. I had to use that because that's one of my mentor statements. Don't call that number. Please call. Just send a message on WhatsApp. I've dropped the number on. Okay, let me quickly call it for the sake of those on Facebook. +234 811 280 5098. Chat me up on WhatsApp there. I will add you to that inner circle group, and you can. I will let you know the mode of payment. Let you know. Okay, Ambassador Yemisi Abegunde is also here. Yes, he's also one of our alumni of the Personal Branding Masterclass. Yes, and don't forget the Personal Branding Masterclass, the last session. The last batch, we just concluded the last batch, and see, people are already doing things. Like Ambassador Mr. Abiodun Babalola told you that if what I'm teaching is not practicable, you won't see a lot of people around me doing great exploits. I can tell you I can tell you authoritatively. I have Ambassador Lillian, yes, the woman that taught about digital transformation. She's one of our alumni. Ambassador Amara, the first speaker, she's also an alumni. Ambassador Tobiloba is there. Yeah, he's an alumni. Who else? Ambassador Ezekiel. They are all live with us. They are all alumni. You see, these are people with results. They can Ambassador. One of my mentees will also be coming up and will be teaching us about money in the soil. As Ambassador Afo Joseph, he is also an alumni of Personal Branding College. So you want to know more about Personal Branding College? Quickly rush down to www.personalbrandingcollege.com and get the information. Let me quickly read some of the stuff I have on the screen. Value, superb session, sir. Yes, thank you, Mr. Oketunde, and also I can read subscribe, sir, at Taiwo T. Thank you so much, Ambassador Yemisi. The secret of the future of work is it in the degree or the skills and certifications. God bless you. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate all of you. So why we can? I think the network is not coming up from his hand, from Mr. Abiodun Babalola's end. So that means we're going to call it a day tonight. Tomorrow is going to be another powerful session. And I can't wait also to host our speakers for tomorrow. Wow. Let me quickly give you an expo for what you should be expecting tomorrow. Should I tell you? Okay, let me quickly tell you about what you should be expecting tomorrow. We have the first speaker will be coming on board tomorrow by the grace of God. And that is in the person of Mrs. Adebisi Adeyinka. And she will be taking us on reshaping, reskilling, and upskilling. Wow. Why? Thank you, Holy Spirit. You know, Mr. Temitayo Adewale told us yesterday about one of the secrets of getting business idea, and he said it is the Holy Spirit. You know, when I was writing all these topics, the topics for this subject, for this challenge, I was like, wow. It took me time to put together, but thank God. I want to appreciate the Holy Spirit. I don't know why all these things follow each other, you know. I know it is God. Now, reshaping, reskilling, and upskilling. Mrs. Adebisi Adeyinka, she will be starting 7 p.m. tomorrow by God's grace. And I have one of my friends who is connecting. He is a person that owns groups of companies in South Africa, in Uganda, I think in Rwanda, and and he has a professional network. I mean, their network he has a membership website, highly secured website with professionals from across the world. Canada, Australia, America, Europe, Britain, African continent. I've been invited to speak on that platform before, and I can tell you the category of people on that platform. I was wowed when they invited me to speak on personal branding. One of the participants from UK said, "Wow, this is the first time I understand the meaning of personal branding." Wow. So he will be coming tomorrow. Mr. Heaves will be taking us on strategic techniques to plan and grow your business. Wow, that is awesome. And on Wednesday, we have one of my proteges who I used to call the ballet of cloud computing in Texas. And that is Ebenezer Olu Akiolu Yemi. And he will be taking us through cloud solutions for small and medium enterprise. While Mr. Oyategbe will be taking us on the book Ideas in You to survive anytime, be it recession or hard time, anytime. Let me stop it there, and I will connect with you tomorrow by the grace of God, and we'll also see if we're going to have 1 day extra to come up with Ambassador Lillian's presentation, and also the concluded part of Mr. Abiodun Babalola. On this note, permit me to close tonight, and let me pray for you. I feel like praying for you. I want you to pray one prayer before we go. Say, Lord, establish me and teach me to profit in my establishment. Pray this prayer before we close tonight. Father, in the name of Jesus, I pray that you establish me Establish me and teach me to profit in my establishment. in the mighty name of Jesus. Thank you, faithful God. In Jesus' wonderful name, I pray. Amen. So, I want to appreciate God for your life, and I want to also encourage you to please watch the replay. Share the video with your friends and your family members and let them know that there is hope even for the hopeless. So I see you tomorrow, and I'd like to close with Juicy. One of his songs, I will be here. I will be here, even when it is not easy. God bless you.
Worshiping all of the days of my life. I'll be here worshiping all of the days of my life. Everybody say, I'll for you, oh God, in Zion. Say, I'll be here. Say, I'll be here. All of the days. Let's sing this part for them. Say, I'll be and sacrifice all of the days of my life. I'll be here worshiping all of the days of my life. I'll be here worshiping. As the musician begin to play this line, ask the Lord for something. Ask him for something. No one comes here and goes back the same way. It's not possible. Worship tonight. I'll be here worshiping.